Oh no.
Welcome to the big show. We are back, people. It is a Friday. Man, Friday couldn't have come quick enough for me. I'm so tired. So we are about to kick off. It's quite a few topics we're going to cover today, at least three of
Indeed.
them. And
Indeed.
we figure we'd do that. Makes it easier, more robust conversation. So before things get too heated, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Hey y'all. Hopefully you guys have good plans for the weekend. Um,
Yeah.
I
and if
don't.
that means just chilling,
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
that's plans. Um, we have a couple of things to discuss from the people who did wrong investigating themselves and found out that they did nothing wrong
So,
to we're not going to have any war to we're having World War III. We're just sending troops to start it
Yeah.
to
Mm-hmm.
um, Mr. Biden sniffing kids again to Mike Pence saying he don't care about no American people. He here to fix America. I'm not sure how that works, but um, like it's all and transgenders winning Miss Universe, proving that men are better than women at everything they do.
This
Um,
is
Man
true.
of the year.
We are.
Woman of the year. Sorry.
so sorry. Hey,
Only thing we
proof is in the
can't have
pudding.
yet are
Man
babies,
and woman of the
and
year.
they're working on that.
Hey, yet, but there is a guy who wants to have the first abortion. So
Hey, well, ladies, what do you got? I mean,
Himself?
ladies,
how
we
would
can
that
cook.
work?
We're winning beauty
I-
pageants. We're winning sporting events. We're winning Thai boxing. We're winning. And if we can have a kid, what
is
are you
that
guys gonna
Charlie
do
Sheen
It's going
winning?
winning.
It is
Tiger
Charlie
blood.
Sheen.
weenie.
Tiger blood, right?
Tiger blood.
Yeah.
Mm.
Remember that?
Women, we're
interview?
joking, okay? We're joking.
Tiger
Whether
blood.
or not a man feels he can have a baby, he can't. Okay, so he'll always have that record.
Yeah, we're joking.
You'll also always have the pain. Just so you know, we don't want that part.
But
It's
you
a
know,
weird-
and to
Yeah.
that question, why would a man like you know how much pain women go through, and their bodies are built to withstand take that pain. Why would a
Yep.
man want to put his body through that?
because they say men are stupid, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And
Well,
they die.
I mean, in this case, they
die
are.
faster. Yeah.
Our brains are
Yeah.
smaller, I think.
I don't know about that, about my brain. I mean, it was injured, but it ain't smaller. That's for sure.
Unless
So
you got
let's
a
start.
micro
With
penis.
let's start with the cocaine incident. Not finding anybody, even though they narrowed it down.
What
to say
cocaine?
they said 300 people is what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hold on. Oh, I just want to make sure. Just hold. Listen carefully, people.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'm just naive. Okay.
You are.
If you have 300 possible people that could be bringing cocaine into the White House, do you really have a secure White House?
No.
It's secure if everybody in the White House does cocaine.
If everybody's high, then nobody's in trouble, right? If you're
Yeah.
all
That's
sharing
pretty
the
damn
pie.
secure to me.
It's like,
Mm.
who
What
was
if-
the idiot that left their stash?
You
Mm.
And it's
know
like,
nobody
okay,
should know
don't
about
do it
this.
again. It's fine, but don't do it again. You know, kind of thing.
Oh, they did find more before this, though. They also found some other illicit drugs before this.
Oh,
I heard about that.
was it meth?
So,
Marijuana.
hey, who
That's
knows?
like-
It
What?
might have been lithium. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Mhm.
making deals over there, there might be. So I don't know.
God,
I mean, you know, I don't understand it. There's cameras everywhere, right?
Yeah.
No, they say, no, that's
What?
not true. That's not true.
Just not in that place.
The cameras were not just like Epstein. They just don't point it that way.
Yeah.
Now hear this. Okay,
Unless you-
have you guys ever installed cameras?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I used to install cameras for a living, right?
What
What
is
is that?
that?
Sorry.
Is that Asian people doing Asian things again?
Yes.
Golly,
Yeah.
golly, Christmas, come on, man.
Freaking
You
seeing
open up the
dogs and all
wrong
that stuff.
tab
So
on your
I
computer.
used to install security.
Yeah,
cameras.
it was anime.
And one of the places we installed for were weed shops.
Mhm.
Okay, a weed shop, and by law, every angle in the building has to be seen on camera. And when I say every, I mean every. So and they only allow you to make a squared room, and then a separate room for the office, and that office must have cameras in every corner. So you have 4 cameras in each room, and every aspect must be seen. So in one corner you'd have one looking down, and
Yeah.
also one at a 90, and at each corner, so you couldn't be underneath the camera and not be seen. You're trying to tell me that in the White House, you have a blind spot? So if I did decide to leave a bomb there instead of a cocaine deposit, no one would know it was me.
Hypothetically.
Even if you think it's, I can't get there. You remember, y'all made us broke because you block our stuff.
That's right.
Madonna
If
said
somebody
it.
decided to be malicious and get into the White House, there are a couple of blind spots in there. All right.
I mean, it's amazing you know, that all the technology they had in the White House, they identified everybody from the insurrection in January 6th. You know,
Oh, crazy, huh?
Oh gosh,
you know the
can't see that, right?
metrics and all the other stuff, and even though it wasn't in the White House, they still had all the security footage. Place that's stepped down from the White House. So you're telling step down.
Yeah,
you know, so like Marlon said, you're telling us right now that there's a hidden corner in the house,
in the White House.
There's all houses
in the
from the
most
mountains
secure
of
place,
Caucasus.
in the most secure place
On
in
Earth.
the United States, where there's snipers on the rooftop and
18
Secret
acres.
Service everywhere, that you can't figure out who dropped cocaine. Like literally, you could have just walked in there, like just crop dusted everybody. It's like, who farted? I don't know. We don't have cameras. I can't figure out who farted in my face.
So really though,
It's like Hunter's just sitting there going, "Meh," you know, it's like, you know he did it. Come on, why is that even a question? He farted in the
18
elevator, and everybody's
acres.
looking at him like, "What? Really, dude? Really? Yeah."
18 acres, security checkpoints in every entry point, cameras up the wazoo, but the Secret Service comes away with no suspects. Like,
Hey, it's up the wazoo, but not that wazoo.
no, apparently not that wazoo. Yeah,
I mean,
He had it in his prison
look,
pocket and
they-
fell out when he sharted.
They must really.
that's right.
They must really think the American people are really that dumb. You know what I mean? I mean, they can find these freaking people like them can find a freaking hair follicle in a blanket at a murder scene. We got this one little hair follicle, and we found it. And you're
Yes,
telling
sir,
me,
but whose cocaine does that belong to?
Well,
in
in their defense, they're also the same department that loses 800, or 80,000 children. So whatever.
So, but
I mean,
you're
touche.
telling me,
Yeah.
you're telling me that was the only angle for one. So there was no other angle. There wasn't like a hallway camera. There wasn't one turning before you go into the door. There was just that one camera at a corner.
It is hanging on by one screw too, and it's always like blowing in the wind.
And it was just dangling there. It wasn't even charged. Probably it was just like the camera wasn't charged. The Wi-Fi was out that day. We didn't see who drove.
Hey, who was the guy who was supposed to put the camera back up?
I mean, and like we keep saying, like seriously, they're doing this stuff right in our face, America. They're mocking us. They are mocking us. They are making fun of. They're like, look at these dummies. They're gonna believe it. Watch this. They're gonna believe it. We couldn't find the mirror or was it cocaine? Crack? Just tell them cocaine. Okay, cocaine.
All they had to do was get Hunter to find it. He could find cocaine in a map.
No, that's not true. He can't tell the difference between Parmesan and crack. So
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
You put Hunter on a leash, he just like a basset hound. Just
he sidelines like at night as a drug sniffing dog for the FBI.
No, that's Biden. He does most of the sniffing anyway.
Speaking of, it's just they do harder investigations for regular citizens.
Yeah,
you know, if my house is a trap house and like say I got rid of all the drugs and they would do everything in their power to try to find something.
Mm-hmm.
We found a little nugget of a little rock. It's about you got to use a microscope to see it, but that's it right there.
He's guilty.
Guilty.
Throw him in jail.
You're going
No,
to jail.
it's funny because you got the people like the Jan 6 people that are still in solitary with no charge or trial still from that day. But they can't find who did the crack in the White House. But God forbid,
same thing.
We don't find that old granny who happened to walk into the Capitol waving her little flag. You remember seeing the little granny with the flag? She's like, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm happy.
And they jacked her up. Hey, Marlon, remember when we talked about
that's what Grandma got.
You remember when we talked about a couple weeks ago how we just put a wall around DC?
Yeah.
Turn it into the Hunger Games, and it's like you can wager bets online.
I figured out what I want it to be. You ever seen the movie The One?
To make the vote.
Yes.
You ever seen The One?
Yeah.
With Jet Li?
With Jet Li, right? At the end of the
That's
movie.
a good movie. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Where they put him on in the commune, but it's like a whole planet.
Yeah.
I ain't nobody's.
that
I want to fly all of them to their own planet.
The Watchmen.
Stay out there.
Yeah. I mean,
you're not locked in here. You're locked in here with me.
just imagine, them waking up surrounded by a wall. And they're like, what's going on? And then you start playing that Star Trek music, when they fought. All broomsticks, stuff, broken broomsticks in there. Be like, all right, fight to the death. Pelosi, McConnell, you're up.
No, they have to rush to the lobby against each other. So you have the Democrats on one side and the Republicans on the other, and give them broken broomsticks, like you said. And it's like, okay, you got to fight your way to the lobby in order to vote. And whoever has the most people there at the end gets to win. And so you just send them off.
Nobody votes. Or they start, they start fixing themselves, right? So AOC, she was sharpen all her teeth. So she looks like this.
That horse
AOC.
face.
Oh man, I don't know.
Look,
the world is so crappy. We have
as
to make
much as
jokes.
we laugh about this, the two-tiered system is in full effect.
That's right.
And this has nothing to do with race. It's all about money. Okay.
Yeah.
And what the agenda is, and what agenda they're trying to push, and who's going to help them push it. And right now, Biden is the man to help them push what they need. So they can't do anything against him. And you can talk all you want about, it's not the low-level FBI. I don't care. If you shut up and you're part of the FBI and you go through with their commands, you just as stupid as the heads.
Yeah.
I don't like you if you work for the FBI and you say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I will class you as a traitor as quick as I will class the rest of them. Don't have me this nonsense about, I'm low tier. I'm not involved in the process of decision making. I don't give a damn, bro. All of you are responsible for this nonsense. It's like me saying I work for a company knowing that they're embezzling funds from customers. And I'd just be like, well, I'm not the one embezzling. I'm just bringing in the customers.
Oh, yeah. You're just working for Bacon America.
Just
no
quit.
big deal.
You could just quit. And that way it won't get done. But you're just as guilty as them. Ray, all of them, anyone below Ray, arrested. If you went along with Ray, gone. All of them. So don't give me this nonsense. I don't care. Low tier. Like that's like saying the police commissioner is the corrupt one, but all the other cops are the ones that are pulling off the same schemes. Arrest all of them.
And they're corrupt, because let's go back to the classified documents, right? Whenever they went to search Trump's place, they pretty much raided him. Agents showed up. They went in, guns pretty much ready, like they were going to war pretty much for this guy. They indicted him. He was under investigation almost immediately. Boom, under investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to this guy, Biden, who has classified documents, who didn't have the presidential authority to have those classified documents, he got them as a senator. He had them in his garage in boxes. And then when you ask the FBI director about it, he's like, I can't talk about a ongoing investigation. You know what I mean?
It's the same thing with him getting grilled over Jan 6. It's like, did you or did you not have agents in the crowd? Well, I can't answer that. It's been 2 years. You can answer it.
I can't answer that. We can't talk about an ongoing investigation. We can't
talk about sources and methods. It's like, yeah, dude, you it's either you had one or two, or maybe a few, or something. You can say you had some. You don't have to say how many, even though we already know there was hundreds because of court documents. But you could at least say there are some, and you're like, you acknowledge that there's a court case that says you had some, and that's factual, but you won't say it on the stand in front of Congress that you had them.
Yeah, like Marlon was saying, it's a two-tiered justice system, and it's in our face. The American people, more and more people are seeing it. We've been seeing it. It's just more in our face now, to where more people are being more voiceful about it. But it's the fact again is that they're mocking us. They're making fun of us. These powers to be are laughing at us because they know they're doing it. And they know we can't do nothing about it. That's why they're doing it. They
Well,
know
anger the
that the average
majority of
American can't do
life.
nothing. The what?
It should anger all of us to know that, you know, the Secret Service agent said no suspect was found, but we know that crack cocaine was found. Somebody must have brought it in there. We know the guy who's literally the palm smoker in chief, and he's the one that has the habit. But no suspect was found. Give me a break.
Well, they can't admit that it was his, because if they did, then his deal goes away, because he was supposed to stay clean that entire time. Right? It was contingent on that deferral or the deferment or whatever they call it for him to stay clean. That's the reason he didn't go into jail for that gun crime. Right? It's because he was supposed to be in rehab basically that entire time. So if they admit that it's his, then it looks worse, for one, and then two, they know that deal goes away because they can't legitimately say that, oh, it was an accident, right? Because no, he broke the law again, blatantly.
Then I got high. Yeah.
Can you do me a favor? I told you I brought up a video in the private chat. Can one of you bring that up real quick? Because I want people to know Joe Biden does not lie.
Ever.
This was a year ago, by the way.
I will not send American servicemen to fight in Ukraine. We have supplied the Ukrainian military with equipment to help them defend themselves. We provided training and advice and intelligence for the same purpose. And make no mistake, the United States will defend every inch of NATO territory with the full force of American power. We are not seeking direct confrontation with Russia, though I've been clear that if Russia targets Americans in Ukraine, we will respond forcefully. And if Russia attacks the United States or our allies through asymmetric means, like disruptive cyber attacks against our companies or critical infrastructure, we are prepared to respond. For the sake of historic responsibility, Russia and the United States share for global stability, for the sake of our common future, to choose diplomacy.
Diplomacy, my ass. Jesus.
Well, you know, he's not wrong, because he said defend and protect NATO lands when Ukraine's not part of NATO, though. So, I mean,
well, no, they promised to put a ring on her. Okay, so it's technically theirs.
You know,
that's right.
What's kind of weird about his whole little statement there is he's pretty much saying if Russia attacks American troops, we will attack them back. What is he supposed to do if he feels threatened, you know, in war? Are you just supposed to sit there and take it? You attack. If I feel threatened in combat, I'm going to attack you first before you can get me. That's usually how it works. You know, so don't go over there pumping your chest and, you know, trying to play tough guy. And Russia actually shows you, like, you ain't going to play tough around here. Then you get all mad that they actually did what they're supposed to do. I don't know. Every time I hear him talk, I have to go read the encyclopedia, all of them.
Yep,
all of them.
There you go. So, I mean, there's no way he's going to be deploying 3,000 reserve troops to Europe to support NATO. Why do you have to tack on the Ukraine thing? You could just say NATO, and it's like we're just gonna put them into like Germany. We're gonna bolster up the German side of things, you know, protect them.
And even that doesn't make sense though, man.
It doesn't.
We already have troops in Europe all over. We had the 173rd. We had we had what armored divisions out there? First Armored Division, parts of First Armored Division. There's a lot of army units out there in Europe. Air Force. Why would you take 3,000 reservists?
Yep.
To send them there? I don't know. But
Atlantic
authority vested in
Resolve. That apparently that's an operation name that's been in use since a decade ago.
In and around the United States, European command areas.
Yep.
But that, you get what I'm saying? I mean, you guys get it? Like, that makes no sense, though. You're pulling 3,000 troops from here, sending them to a place where there's thousands of U.S. troops and allies already.
Yep.
What are these 3,000 going to do? What are they doing? I mean, and the reservists, nothing against reservists, but most of them are not on the same
Civilian
level
base.
as
I mean,
trained.
it's like what, battalion plus? That's what they're sending,
Yeah.
basically. That's it.
This, it like, it, I
Why would they? Answer the question.
exactly.
Why do you think they would? Why would they? Why? Think about it. Why would they?
I think it's to poke the bear, man. I think it's a show of force.
Probably.
I think it's a reason to say, hey, look, we just moved 3,000 more troops there. What are you going to do, Russia? And I remember we talked about it last week. I said, I really think they're poking Putin to do something. They want him to
He ain't
do
gonna
something.
do nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing.
No,
Who's not a
He's
dummy
not
now?
dumb.
I mean,
Nah.
he might be violent, but he's not a dummy.
nah.
He's not a dummy. These the move that he's making right now
Oh,
is
okay.
no different than Bush Senior did, than
Yeah.
Bush Junior did, than Clinton did,
Mhm.
than Barack did. If you look at how they do things, right? If there is interest in something that they have vested money in, which most of these people do, in a certain location, they will do whatever they have to do by using America's power to protect their interest.
Yep.
So much crap is coming out about what what Ukraine's actually doing with the money. People may not know that it's coming out, but it's coming out. So what do you have to do? Distract with something else. Let's send more troops over there to defend what I don't want out. I don't want it going. I don't want it going out there.
According to this reporting, the Pentagon stressed the order doesn't simply send 3,000 more troops to Europe, but rather it only makes reservists available to go if Eurocom decides they're needed. Like,
But
okay, do you remember stop loss back in
Yeah.
the day when they were like people were getting out or the reservists and they're calling everything out? The only reason you tap reserves if you have a inkling that shit's about to go south and that you need more manpower.
that's
Because that is
exactly
the
what I
only
was going to
reason
say.
for reserves are there, because you do everything with active duty, or things went real bad and you have to pull up the reserves. That is
And
the
that's
only reason they
exactly
exist.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, they never just go to the reserve. That's why I'm like, this makes no sense. It was like, yeah, we got, think about here stateside. We got the 82nd Airborne Division. We got the 1st Infantry Division. We have 3rd ID, 3rd Infantry Division, 10th Mountain Division, all these MUs, Marine Corps, all this stuff. And you go to the Army Reserves, 3,000, and nothing against the reserves, man. But Coy gets what I'm saying. It's like, you're going to the reserves. If Russia's that much of a threat, I'm just saying you wouldn't be using the reserves right now. You'd be
Well,
going
aren't
to
the
your
reserves
top-
like
The-
civilian-based training kind of a thing? They're not necessarily like
Yeah.
hardcore, like in.
Well, it
in
depends. It
unit.
depends
Yeah.
on which one you're talking about. If you're talking about the National Guard, that's state civilian reservist, and then if you're talking about Army, like Army reserves or Marine reserves, those are federal troops. Versus
and they're
state
like
troops.
the last straw, man. They're
But during the last
broken
20 years of
arrow.
war,
That's what they are. You say broken arrow, that's them guys getting called.
yeah. So there's a spokesperson from U.S. European Command said the United States European Command is prepared to use new authorities in support of Operation Atlantic Resolve and continuation of U.S. commitment to NATO collective security, peace, and stability. This will not change the current force posture levels in Europe. Yeah, that's speak for. Well, we're not saying we're doing that, but we're doing that.
See, and there was something very interesting that Marlon named. He named Bush Jr., Bush Sr., Clinton, and Barack. What did all 4 of those conflicts? What was the number one common denominator? Think. What was the number one thing that they were doing in each one of those conflicts?
They're all white.
Okay, they're all white. Regime change.
Yes.
Regime change. So each one from Somalia to the first Gulf to Libya to Afghanistan, right? And Iraq. All of them were going in there to change the regime to gain control of those resources.
Yeah.
And we talked about it last week. This thing with Russia, they've been talking about Russia being a bad guy for many years. We were kids. Marlon and I are the oldest 2 in here. We were kids. They were talking about Russia, So this is all about resources and money, like we said last week. This has nothing to do with the Ukrainian people. This has nothing to do with democracy. Dollars, man. I'm telling you.
And it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Dollars, and it makes no sense.
It doesn't. So the Pentagon also said that Atlantic Resolve is now being designated as a contingency operation. A contingency.
Kind of like Disease X, contingency.
Yeah, right. It's contingency versus
Placeholder.
a virus that we do not know is happening. So this contingency operation, Atlantic Resolve, is a contingency for when we accidentally mess up and poke the bear a little too hard, and something gets nuked. It's a contingency. So.
And I think they should call it an intengency. They intend to do it.
And 10.
Yeah.
10. I think people mistake what the United States military actually is. And I think it took me a long time to really figure it out. Is the United States military is the one world army. If you really think about it in that regard. Because who depends on everything from us in terms of sales, exports, and even defense of their nations? It's the West, right?
Yeah.
The one world government people. And it is backed up by the U.S. military. That's what our job is to keep them safe while they benefit and reap the rewards from everything.
And
It's
that's a
also
great
funded
point,
by our tax
but
dollars too.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the reserve. There's something deeper, man. Like my conspiracy spidey senses are tingling right now, and I really think it goes a lot deeper. Why there's no active duty units? Because there's always an active duty unit on standby for contingencies. Always, 365 days a year, there is some type of active duty unit. So I just it makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense why they would.
It doesn't make sense to me. Hey, go get old Billy Bob and Stewart. They work at the the Walmart over there. That's where they work. Tell them they're on standby.
I know they got their DD-214, but we're gonna need you to come back. Why are they getting the guys that just got out? That's the bigger question. It's like, why are you looking at IRR to be activated?
It
if
makes
that's the
no
case?
sense. Unless
they know something's going to happen. That's my biggest.
It's been planned, bro. It's been planned.
Yeah,
it's been planned. Again,
I mean, if these guys are reserves, like, are they the fall guys then possibly?
No.
Or fodder? Or fodder?
Yeah, no. Meat shields. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we consider meat shields.
Like we were saying earlier, the reserves are usually like Broken Arrow. We are losing bodies left and right. Get the reserves in there. That's usually what the reserves are for, not this.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying it doesn't make any sense to me.
Or when they activated the reserve during the last 20 years, they were getting the reservists to augment active duty because the rotations were too horrible that they couldn't keep that sustainment up, because you had guys that would deploy, come back, be in the United States for a couple of months and then being sent back for another deployment rotation. Right? We're talking 7 to 12 months, depending on what service you're in.
That was me.
So they had to get the reserves in order to augment those forces, because they can't send people back to back on deployments and expect them to be okay.
Right.
So
they have a plan, and it'll eventually show itself. Like big time, it'll show itself. The biggest thing I think we'll have to watch for is whether or not they take this, which is more likely to happen before the end of the year, or if they do it at the beginning of the year so that they have an excuse to shut everything on American territory down.
Like
I said, 2024 may not happen.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's more and more likely going to happen as we move forward with the year, is that I said, and I hope I'm wrong, is that the use of nuclear weapons, whether it be a small tactical nuke or artillery, being the catalyst for that situation. Because they've already done the pandemic thing. They can't do that a second time.
Right? Oh, they can.
Yes, they can.
But it would do worse things. They
won't look for compliance this time. They're not even looking for compliance the second time they do it. It'll just be an automatic shutdown, and that's it. They won't even have a contingency plan for you to, if you do this, it'll be all out and it'll be done. If they do it, they'll implement it and it'll be done. And like I said, they have to have something coming down the pike in order to keep, because it looks like now that I don't think anything is going to happen with the Trump indictment. It's not going to go anywhere.
No.
So now they have to, and even if it did go somewhere, he can still run. So they have to create buzz to try and take votes away from him. And then they have to create something that will negate votes altogether, so you can't even vote, which is why I've been saying I don't think 2024 will take place.
No, because like DeSantis was the establishment choice for the Republicans, and he floundered hard. over the last couple of weeks. His campaign is dead.
Yeah,
not
he'll
going
drop
anywhere.
out soon. He won't
Like,
even make it.
DeSantis is done. Like as much he used all of his political capital in the last couple of weeks, and it's gone. Like he's not going to be able to retain that back. He's not going to make it. Period.
Yeah, and one thing I see them trying to do, especially like say this conflict actually does go forward, and there's actually boots on the ground from American soldiers. There would have to be, like Coy brought up, some type of attack. There would have to be something for them to get the people behind it, because I think the country's so split now. There's countries that are like, they're pro Russia, and there's side of the country that's pro Ukraine, and there's some people who just don't care. I'm kind of in the middle. I really don't give a damn, about either side. But our country would have to find a way to get the people behind it, because in order for something to really work, you'd have to get the people behind it. The support. Same with Iraq and Afghanistan. If the people didn't support it, so they had to do what?
Yeah,
drop a tower. You drop a tower, you blame it on the evil freaking Taliban. Now the people are behind this conflict. So when we start raising taxes and we start taking money, they're really not going to complain too much, because they know it's for a good cause.
Like I said, it's going to be nuclear. It's okay. It's going to be either a nuclear incident, like one of the facilities exploding, or melting down, another Chernobyl.
Yep.
Gas attack, or nuclear armament and small yields being used on the field.
And I definitely can see that. I think we discussed that 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about that, exactly that. And I also see them doing something. Something has to happen on the homeland,
but here's the
I'm
thing.
telling you.
It doesn't even have to be them that do it. I mean, it could be a false flag. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It just has to happen.
Exactly. And that's why I was alluding to 9/11, because everybody knows 9/11 was an inside job, false flag. So I can see them kind of doing that same thing here. And if you start just tying things together, like I say, I work in conspiracy circles. The election's coming up. There will be another pandemic, like Marlon said. There will be another pandemic. And then they would plan something like that. Some type of false flag attack saying, look, it's all the people that are against that lockdowns and all this.
I don't think it'll be a pandemic, just for the sheer reason that the economy couldn't handle another one of those. Right?
They don't want it.
Makes you think they want the economy to.
No, they do, because that gives BRICS a leg up. They cannot have the economy go down like that. That's why they're fighting it so hard.
Listen, they have to have America fail. This is not about making America do anything but fail. They have no desire to see any of the funds come back to America. They can look at what they've been saying. We're trying to get money to help the American people. Have they done that? No,
not really.
Have they done anything to secure any sort of gas contingency plan for anything? No, in fact, they're trying to wipe out all the gas reserves in order for you to go and spend more money to buy an electric vehicle. They want to redo all the grid, just like AOC. None of that is sustainable by any metric with any money that America has. The entire plan, since the middle of Clinton's regime, has been to break America. Remember, he was the one that came up with NAFTA, right? Okay. Did that help America's trade in the global market? No. So they've been trying to break the American economy for a long time. Biden has just been the most efficient at it, because he can pass it off as being senile.
It's stupid.
But they're not trying to bring anything back to America that has to do with funds, that has to do with people regaining their strength, people having to get their money back in their pockets, jobs come. They have no desire to see that happen. Now, if they can continually blame a war in a different location for all of that, they can make more reasons for them to not repair anything home. In fact, I think the reserves that they're sending is a clear sign that they're intending to verify, stamp a seal of approval on the demise of the American money. It's done. Now, who's China's part of BRICS, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So if China is part of it, and Joe has money tied up in China, do you think he really cares about the American economy? Do you think McConnell has money tied up in China? You really think he cares about the economy? Lindsey Graham has money in China. You think he's concerned about the economy? Mitt Romney has money in China. All of these clowns have money tied up in China. So if China makes good with this and they have gold as their backing, they are coming out of this stinking rich, especially if they can sell out American land, sell out American infrastructure, resources, and deplete what's here. Oh, Man, they're getting away like 40 going north. This is not about recovering America. They've never. This is why they hate Trump.
Yep.
He was
And
trying to restore America. They're not trying to restore anything.
look at when you talk about Biden kept getting up there like he's trying to restore America. That's it, build back better, whatever. If you look at the average debt for the average American citizen right now on the U.S. debt clock, it's at about almost $100,000, almost $100,000 per citizen. Per citizen, it's like 97 plus $1,000 per citizen on the debt clock.
I don't think anybody's really seen this in a while. I mean, it used to be a big thing back in the day.
I can't hear Marlon.
That's okay. The current national debt is $32 trillion right there.
God, jeez, man.
Where's it at?
Going up right here.
I see it. Now, where's the debt per citizen? I think it's right there, 97, 120, 133.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, debt per citizen right there.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up larger.
So, and this is what I was talking about. Now, this is per citizen, taxpayer. Per taxpayer.
Just you and me.
Yes. So that's how much debt that we owe on top of the debt that we accumulate ourselves.
Oh, man, look at the debt to GDP ratio from 1960 was 52%. In 1980, it was 34%. In 2000, it was 57%. And now it's 122%.
Make that make sense, America.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Debt
Of
per
course you can't make
taxpayer
it
is
make sense.
$253,000.
Instead,
That's how much you owe.
Instead of all of this going on, now mind you, this is happening to each American citizen. Okay, that's what's going on now. They're more concerned about pushing this. This is their concern. Diversity, queer ideology, homosexuality, lesbianism, transgenderism, pedophilia. They want that to become the normal. If you can create a degenerate society, you will see the depletion of resources go. You will see America crash like none other. If you have degeneracy where no one wants to work, because that's what they did during the pandemic, they relieved people of their ability to want to work by giving them false hope that the government will support them. Yep. Again, like I keep saying, this is not anywhere near about supporting the American people. It's not. If I can kill your kids in the womb or by trafficking, or by making sure they're sterile by cutting off their genitalia, or I can make the adult population even more callous by not having them have any kind of resources for mental instability, by creating more of them with their children, no one's going to be interested in working. Everyone will be looking for a handout. This is socialism 101. If I can look for a handout, I'll take it. And once I have the handout, I'm going to keep expecting that handout. So what happens when I remove the jobs? I make you believe you're getting a handout. I control you now. You have no more any power over what you do because you've given it to me, the government. And so now I'm wielding you around like a little wet rag doll. And there's nothing you can do anymore. No matter how many protests we do now, unless we change regimes, it's the dollar's dead.
Yeah. Regime and I mean change dead, America. Yeah.
Dead. And you won't even be, Bitcoin won't mean anything to you. You know why? Because it won't translate into anything.
That's right.
It'd be like having Bitcoin in Nairobi. Might as well go huff glue. Go huff glue and you'll be fine. That's the only thing you have left to do. You're not going to be able to make any ends meet. You think now that you have some cryptocurrency, all of a sudden you have money. What happens when that cryptocurrency translation is translated to American dollars and the dollar has no value?
Yeah.
Well, what then? Oh, that's right. Now you're double broke because you've invested all your so-called cash into something that's phantom. And now that phantom is giving you a whole other description of what your money's worth. You got zero. And you weren't planning for that. You were planning for a rise.
And if you even look at the term, like as we were talking, I was thinking about Biden's slogan, and it's build back better. You know, that word back. Think about that word back. You know, if you're going to build something back, that means you have to do it what?
Good the first time.
In order.
You have to destroy it in order to build it back better.
Yeah.
You know, so if you look at it like that, his goal was to destroy America. Socially, financially, mentally, health wise, destroy it, and then from there, under the guise of socialism, the WEF and the WHO, we're going to build back better, what they think is better. So look at it like that. I mean, if you really start thinking, start putting on those thinking caps and use your critical thinking skills and think about what they tell us. Remember when we talked about, I don't want to get in a monologue here, but remember when we talked about how they do everything in our face? Everything is in plain sight. It's always in plain sight. You just got to think about the words, what you're hearing, and you really got to think. And sometimes it takes a moment. You're just like, oh my God. So, start thinking about the words that are coming out their mouths and just really put them together. And then you'll come to your conclusion on what you think is right. I don't know. I'm just saying.
No,
with all that's happening, we don't really have a job to do other than trying to avoid it getting into your home. That's at this stage, that's all you can do is protect your kids.
Surviving.
You try to protect other kids and you're going to run into a problem. Even if you try to protect your own kids, you run into a problem. But I see it this way. If I try to protect my own kids and you try to stop me from protecting my kids, I'm not the one that has the problem. You're going to be the one that will have the problem. And it'll be a pretty big problem, like a massive problem for you. Like, I don't mean that to try and tough talk. I literally mean that. Like, if you try to harm my kids, I'm not going to just stand there and say, I guess I gotta no. I'm afraid that's not how this is gonna go down. You're gonna encounter a different side of. I don't think it's gonna be women that's gonna do this to you.
I like it.
I mean, they'll argue and they'll be mad. But I think if we ever want to see the resurgence of true men, let the fathers who are really fathers have their kids messed with.
That's right.
I think you're gonna see something pop out of them. It happened. Look, it happened to me. I was on the verge of being a deadbeat. I was to my daughter. I was. And then when somebody else tried to step up to be a real father, all of a sudden, this thing that I didn't know was there started to. And I went Dragon Ball Z. You know what it did? It woke up in me my true nature of being a father. And it showed me what defending your child looks like. So I'll say this on behalf of 98% of the men out there. There are still 2 that might be still asleep. There are tons of things you can do. You can mess with my money. You can mess with my livelihood. You can mess with the economy. But if I have children and you start doing things to that's a bridge too far. And I don't think you're going to get. And I don't mean the transgender ideology, because the people that are giving their kids over to that are not men or women. They're things. Okay. The more of us that fight it, though, and keep it away from our children, the day they decide to step over that line and try to force you to give your kids up to it, I think you're gonna see a whole different beast show up. At least for me. I know for me, it ain't gonna fly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are more men like me. I'm sure Coy and Bro would agree with me that if that ever happens, that you try to, man, come on. I was talking, who was I talking to? My wife? No, it was Corey I was talking to. We were talking about these pranks that people pull, where they have a kid, social experiments where this random stranger will go sit down and talk to a kid in front of somebody and act like they're trying to coerce the kid to come away with them, right?
Yeah.
And they're checking to see who in society would still stand up. They're lucky they have not done that experiment and not tell me about it in front of me. Like, I'm not going to ask you, do you know the child? That's not even a question. It's just an automatic reaction that you're going to be eating your teeth. And I don't care if it's a social. Now you're going to find out for sure why you don't do social experiments like this.
Surprise.
There are people out there like me that would do this to you, that will lay you low. Just because the mere thought of what you might possibly be thinking about doing. I'm not even going to ask you, just going to assume that that's what you're doing. And I'm going to take accordingly. So I mean, I think eventually it'll come down to the American people trying to save morals instead of money. I don't think America is going to necessarily resurge after this. If this goes through, if war happens, we're done. Not even if Trump gets back in there, can we pull this back from the edge?
We're on the decline, everybody. The ride's already been over. Like we're on the downslope.
Yeah,
Period.
I can see that.
Like, I mean, if anybody disagrees with me, I'm more than happy to listen. But like anything other than that is to the contrary, because everything that we're seeing is just sliding downward. Like we had the golden years; they're gone. We're what's left. It's just about surviving at this point.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah, I don't think so. In either event, the amount of stuff that, like I told you on Wednesday, there's a lot of crap going on right now. We still haven't seen the arrest of Ray. Like I said, I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah.
They obviously don't want nobody arrested for cocaine, which continues to make sense, because if hey, at least Biden is doing his job in overturning his 94 crime bill. So I guess he was repentant. I guess that's a good thing. But only for white people. Only for white people.
Black families. Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Just for white people. So with that being the case of America, I think we have to start looking for someplace in Mars to wait there.
Hey, Elon, a round trip for $1,000 to Mars. Well, he asked that on Twitter. Would anybody take $1,000 round trip to Mars?
Where would Mars be?
Mars is
3 years away, apparently.
That's just in Arizona, isn't
It's
it?
just on the other side of the ice wall.
Oh.
We all got our own beliefs.
I thought it was flat. I didn't know you could get to Mars.
Yeah, that's a different topic.
Are they talking about like Mars, the chocolate
I can go on about that all day.
No, if it was me, like I'll give you a round trip to Mars, right? And then I put them in the car, drive them to the store, grab a Mars bar, and say, "Here you go. Thanks for the $1,000."
Yeah.
Here's what's going to happen. They're just saying, and I'm paraphrasing. There's nothing more dangerous than a peaceful man who wanted to be left alone, right?
Yeah.
So you have all these peaceful men who just want to be left alone. And then once you flip that switch on that person, guy, gal, it could be a gal too.
Yeah.
There's no stopping that. There's a lot of guys that have seen violence, have been in violent places, have seen it with their own freaking eyes. So if these guys don't think that there's men out there that are capable of committing violent acts just to protect their people, just to protect their home, just to protect their kids, they got it all wrong. We don't walk through the valley of shadow of death, man. It's liberating.
Mm-hmm.
And ain't nobody scared of it. So they have to understand that before they start trying to poke and prod and get us to do things that we don't want to do, and come into our family and attacking our kids and attacking our livelihood that we need to survive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're going to find out that there's going to be citizens out there that are about that life, man.
Yeah.
They're going to find out real fast.
We should just start being like the Amish, man. Start our own communities. Like, man, we're going to do our own thing over here.
Communes.
Yeah.
You can't even do that now. They're going after the Amish too.
Yeah,
I've seen that story as well. Then.
Remember what Weird Al said? He'll go medieval on your hiney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be careful.
No, I think it's true. I think a well-armed militia to protect your things and a community of like-minded individuals can do a lot.
Mucho
very
good.
true.
That's true.
Next Saturday. I know what I want to bring to the table. Each will be bringing their own topic. I'm going to say it now. Each will be bringing their own controversial topic to the table. I already have mine. And it is, I'm going to say the word, but please, if you don't know what it means, don't ask me to elaborate. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with walnuts.
Walnuts?
Walnuts?
Walnuts. Yep.
Okay, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Do with anything.
Yeah, it's it has to do with walnuts, and it has to do with let me see how the best way to say this. So I'm trying to separate the word walnut from the word that I'm going to be saying after it. Bro cooks, right? He cooks a lot.
Yeah.
And he'll make like probably like a sauce to go with his meals, or with the chicken, and he'll make the sauce. And so anyway, it includes those two words.
Walnut sauce?
Yep. So don't ask to explain. Look it up yourself when you get time.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Look it up. That's what I'm going to talk about. What do you guys want to talk about?
Didn't we have another video of a certain person, or did we already show it, man? My mind went blank.
of eating things.
There was something you sent out with old Mikey Mike.
Me?
Somebody sent it out with Tucker
Wasn't
Carlson,
me.
or was
Wasn't
that
me.
Coy?
With Mike Pence. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent that one.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Mikey Mike.
No, but that's what I'm going to be talking about. Write it down, everybody. Those two words back to back. Okay.
Walnut sauce.
The walnut word and the sauce word, and you can look it up yourself. But I'm going to warn you now. Okay, you can't put it on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
Really?
You can't put this on Facebook.
Walnut sauce.
I found out about it about 6 years ago.
Thank you, Crazy Days.
And I did an entire video about it back in the day, but I can't find the video I did. That was just before I got erased. So that's what I'm going to be talking about on Saturday.
Oh man, this is going to be a tough one. What are our limitations?
You got this. It's
Rumble. It's Rumble.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know how. Do you know me? I'll go down some deep. I'll go deep.
I don't care how you go. And look, as long as you don't cuss, we're good.
No, I'm not gonna cuss. You know,
right? So how deep you gonna go?
Psalms 19:1.
Okay, so he has to stop.
I'm too tired to play math games.
Psalms 19:1. It's not math.
I know, but that's how tired I am. I don't even care what I'm saying. It's just
Psalms 19:1.
I don't want to play math games. Okay. Now maybe I'll do Tartaria and Mud Flood. That's always fun.
I like Tartaria.
What is
That's
that?
a good one.
You don't know?
You
the
better
Mud
learn about
Flood theory or
Tartaria.
Oh man,
Jesus Christ, you uninformed. You better look Tartaria up.
You don't
man.
listen to any of the conspiracy theories on TikTok?
It's
Come
not
on,
a
come on,
conspiracy.
Steve.
No.
Tartaria is real. Tartaria is real.
Whether it's real or not, I think it's fun because
Look it up.
It's
Look
like,
it up.
It's like alternate history. You know
Look
what I
it
mean?
up.
Like it's
Look it
kind of
up.
cool.
Has anybody figured out Psalms 19:1 in audience? Not the panel.
He talking flat Earth is what he talking.
Oh yes, yeah. There you go.
The pizza.
Anybody else? So what you gonna bring, Lee?
The whole vegan agenda and how it is actually part of this NWO thing. And why the vegan agenda is such a heinous thing.
Such a child, Mister.
He's bringing the real man.
Coy's already said his Tartaria and a mud flood.
Oh,
And he's
trust
doing
me,
fine,
Gamma. Trust me. It is not of a big a jump as you might think. Not.
Oh
not,
my gosh. Okay.
Not even remotely a big jump. Trust and believe me. When you hear what I have to show you, it is not a big jump. Not a big jump.
I got it.
Not a big jump.
I've been up since 2 this morning, so I don't know shit.
So Coy will come back on he'll let us know. And I'm going to make a 4-piece panel so the thumbnail will be looking good. And I'll have each of our face ready to go. And I'll put the title of each of our things right on our face.
Yeah, I told you, Mud Flood Tartaria.
It's Psalms 19:1 for anybody that's asking in the audience. 19:1.
The firmament. One.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What translation?
Handiwork,
are you
man.
talking about?
Handiwork. It doesn't matter. All of them say the same thing.
It's all the same. 19:1. Psalms 19:1.
That's one of the ones they don't mess with too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a way to get the channel flag, but not on Rumble. You're cool on Rumble.
Yeah,
What's
you
going
can
on?
say a lot of things there.
I covered a whole different thing about the other name on Rumble, and it got monetized. So
Good
I'm not
damn.
worried. So we will talk about that on the coming Saturday. Not.
Yeah.
What question
Not
do you
tomorrow.
have?
Not
What
tomorrow, but
question?
the next Saturday, folks.
Yes, next Saturday.
I'm looking for a question and I don't see it.
And there will be an episode of the Hooch this Sunday. I had to take last Sunday off.
Sunday.
What question, Lydia? What question?
Who's asking a question?
Lydia, but I didn't see the question. So maybe you can refresh my because I can't find it.
Yes, Joyce. It's that. It's in that realm. God. Yep. Psalms 19:1.
Yeah, on YouTube, you'd never be able to get away with talking what I got to talk about.
So that
I
means
found it out the
it's
hard
gonna
way, the very hard way.
Yeah.
Coy and I got a strike on the hooch. It was some simple episode. We weren't even talking crazy. We got a strike. Which one was it?
Oh, it was about the Proud Boys. They
Oh, yeah,
Well,
that
yeah, you
one.
can't talk
it was
about them.
election disinformation or something like that. But
Yeah.
now you can talk about the election, so they changed the rules. So
Of course.
whatever,
hmm
they changed it, so you can talk about it now.
Yeah.
Lydia,
There's-
please, quickly.
there's a lot of
You
talk
got
about
a little bit of
pizzas.
time left.
Why kill Gaddafi if they don't want an individual doing it.
Yeah.
Gaddafi was trying to do it individualistically. They don't want that. They
He wanted
have
his
to
own
have you
currency.
join a group that has the global agenda in mind.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot have you independently securing your nation. That's why they hated him, and that's why they don't like Trump. They're
That's right.
individualistic. They want to make everything about the nation to be sovereign.
Mhm.
No, you have to participate on a global scale.
And the same thing with Saddam Hussein. You know, there's a lot of theories on why we went into Iraq. Of course, we were told weapons of mass destruction, but you know my conspiracy. I'm the conspiracy guy on the panel. We were over there looking for Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is in the Bible, and they found him.
The guy,
Gilgamesh. You know who Gilgamesh is?
the man.
Yes,
the
Gilgamesh. They found his tomb and they found his body. Look it up.
Was he alive?
No, but he was in perfect condition.
Oh,
But I mean, Gilgamesh is supposed to be immortal, or at least he. No, I'm
No,
trying to
he
remember what the
wasn't.
story
He was
went,
like
yeah.
a demigod from what they said, but
Right,
he
right.
wasn't
I don't think he
immortal.
actually obtained immortality.
Yeah.
He just wanted it.
he missed it. Right? He was Thanos.
Yeah, they found him. So you know the theory is that you know how they're starting all this cloning and all this other stuff. They're going to try to
using Gilgamesh's
remake.
DNA.
Yeah, they're going to try to remake people like him.
Well,
Oh,
they've
good.
also been
I'm looking forward
saying
to
that-
that.
Ain't nobody
They've
want
also
no
been saying that
Gilgamesh.
the UFOs are real and that they're like harboring technology, and that's coming from like congressional members. Like, there's things that they're not sharing with us, is what they were saying.
I love it. I love that. That sounds good. Let's do it. Bring him back. Bring mammoths too, and saber-tooth tigers.
They
Bring
already
all of them.
did. Did you not see that about the
And I want saber-tooth chickens. Is what I want.
dodos.
That's scary.
Big ass dodo birds.
You ever try to run from a chicken? Imagine that being a half saber-tooth, half chicken. You dead. You dead. There's nothing more. Better yet, a saber-tooth rat chicken. That's even worse.
No.
I know how to. My imagination
Land
is great.
sharks. Land sharks.
Land sharks would be
land
bad.
sharks. Yeah, that would be bad.
Like a
That'd
shark
be
mixed
horrible.
with an elephant, right? So it's got the legs of an elephant.
So
Like
shellphant?
same size. Yeah, it's a shellphant.
Elephant. It's an elephant.
Yeah,
Elephant.
A merman.
a land shark. That's what we need.
Shark
You ever
man.
see those videos? I know how much time we get. You ever see those videos with like those mermaids? What do you think about those?
Fake. All CGI.
They're all.
What about
fake.
those sirens?
I mean,
Those
it's
sirens
like
when those-
believing a jackalope is real.
I don't know
CGI.
when those guys are on a boat and there's like these things like
CGI. CGI.
I don't know, man.
What most people believe is that the stories about mermaids were actually because of manatees, and sailors were having sex with manatees.
Ugh.
Yeah.
They're doing it still today. They're called lefties. That's all.
That's disgusting.
That's very
Jamie
true.
Foxx. Jamie Foxx is a
Wallace.
clone. I don't know.
Have
what
you not
everybody else
seen?
thinks.
Have you not seen leftist women? They look just like manatees. Come on now.
Yeah.
They look like they
And
smell
a
sour.
lot of these liberal men look like they are sailors with
No,
scurvy.
it's-
So come on.
Manatees.
You ever look at a liberal
There you
chick
go.
and she just looks like she stinks?
Look, I'll tell you this much. This is what I see about liberal women. They look like manatees, and the men look like the emaciated sailors that have
Yeah.
rickets. So
string beans.
they
They're all like,
got rickets.
skinny and
Rickets.
lanky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, like
emaciated.
No
emasculated,
testosterone levels at all.
lanky men.
Jigglypuff.
All the
Nah,
women
not
have.
even that. Like, they can't even get that fat. They can't even put on weight. Like, no matter how hard they try.
Too much
And all the
soy,
women
man.
have schmegma.
Too much soy.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
that's
what
gonna
catch
be
up
one
on
of the topics
Saturday
that I'm
now.
looking at.
Now,
Huh?
Saturday, all of this will come to light.
Soy.
Don't worry. We'll go into this on Saturday too. Come Monday, we'll have another interesting topic. We might even tackle, now we've been through it before with the candidates. Well, now that it's been a little bit weeded out, we can tackle some more. And we might bring up the Pence thing on Monday about these candidates. And go, we might do probably just do a reaction to the Tucker interview with all of them. That
That's
might be the
good one.
best way to go.
Mm.
Because I kind of like how he asked them questions. He just blazed
Isn't
them when
the
they were
debate
dumb.
coming up soon? There's
It
some
already
stuff
passed. It was
coming.
just It was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
That's how unimportant it was because they're gonna lie anyway, so it don't matter to me.
Nobody cared.
None of them gonna be honest
But
with you
Coy,
anyway. So.
you do have to look at what Mike Pence said. It'll blow
Okay.
your mind. Yeah, it's in the chat. It's in the chat.
It's crazy.
Okay.
In any case,
We'll look at
we
that.
will vibe with you guys on a different day. Have a great weekend. Please enjoy your weekend. Relax, rest like I'm going to try and do. And see you back here on Monday.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Happy Friday, folks.
War.
Savage Patriots.